gonna leave this behind me so it won't get knocked down.
Alright. You ready?
Yeah.
Donnie.
What?
Where are you from?
High Hat, Kentucky.
What was it like growing up there?
Poor.
Poor? What would you say? Could you give me some examples of it?
What age you want to start at?
Let's start as young as you want.
I can remember working for other people at 7 years old.
Working at 7 years old?
Yeah. We lived in the holler. All right. If we went down the holler, any old people asked us to do something, we had to do it. That's the way we was taught. It doesn't matter if they paid us or they didn't pay us. Most of them did. They'd be changed or something like that. And you know, that was the way of life. If you back then, if they asked you to do it, and them elderly people, you had to do it. If you didn't, they wasn't calling no child welfare.
Did you live in a house?
Yeah, what'd you expect, under a cave?
No, what was the house like?
Cold in wintertime, hot in the summer. It was a board house with brick siding, tar paper, brick siding.
How old are you?
64 years old.
Have you been here your whole life?
Pretty well.
What was it like living in Michigan while you lived away from here?
Hated it.
You didn't like it?
No.
Where all have you visited?
About 46 states.
Doing what?
Driving a truck.
Driving a truck, is that what you did for work?
Somewhat.
Did you graduate high school?
No. Why?
What grade did you quit in?
10th.
10th grade? What did you do when you quit? Did you go straight to work?
Yes.
Alright, well.
I ain't supposed to say that in school, have I?
No, you can say that about school. So, tell me some stories about what it was like when you were growing up.
Well, you didn't have things like they got now. If you got a phone, you was already grown. And that was a house phone. You didn't have no such things as cell phones and things like that. So you had to, anywhere you went, most time you walked or rode a bicycle, if you was lucky enough to have one. Most time you got one, you built it. That's why I look like this. I build what I get.
So you do a lot of mechanical work on your own?
Yes.
I heard you would work on all the bicycles when you were younger.
I built them. Built my first one.
Did you build everybody in the family one?
Most of the time. Fixed their watches, everything like that.
So you say you could fix about anything?
Yes. Except for one Mack truck, and I gave up.
When was that?
A few years back. So did about 7 other people. They couldn't do it neither. And they was educated.
It was just a
I made it run, but they couldn't finish it.
I see. What would you say it was like growing up here in Appalachia? Would you say it's like anywhere else in the world?
No. No, here, you didn't have a store where you could just run and get what you wanted. And when you did have money to get it, you watched what you bought because you didn't have nothing extra. Away from here, they would give their kids things to get them out of their face. We played in the hills, creeks, anything we could do for entertainment.
What about going to school when you were younger? How was that?
Hated it.
Would you say you're a troublemaker?
Yeah. Was it mean? Yeah. Did I pay for it? Yeah.
What something that's a little bit different in this area than other places is when you get in trouble at school, was that it, or when you came home, was it?
You got in trouble at home too. If you got in trouble for anything, and because everybody knowed everybody, you couldn't hide nothing. Everything was right there, and most time it'd beat you home.
Did you ever work in the coal mines?
Inside, a little bit, not much. That wasn't my thing. I went inside there and welded and, spend a day or two in there welding and then come back out. I didn't really like it.
It's scary under there. We hear so many accidents.
Oh yeah. Yeah, especially when you're welding, you got a hood down over your face and it's dark anyway.
Yeah.
That makes it even darker.
So what'd you do here for fun? What are they to do for fun here?
Well, we played games outside. Like Red Rover. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Dodgeball with a basketball. You know how that feels?
I bet that hurt.
Oh yeah. Wintertime we rode sleighs. And
in the wintertime, what's it like? Would you say when it snows here that a lot of people like to make fun of us because we call school off like really quickly, but when it snows here, what's it like?
It's slick. I mean, there's really not no traveling because we got too many hills, too many crooked roads. Away from here, they don't have that. They got big roads and most of it's level ground. But now they have to call it off here because they can't get up these hollers. And a lot of buses goes up the holler, stuff like that. We walked out. We walked 3/4 of a mile every day. And, when they'd have school.
Yeah.
But they wasn't no, like you said, away from here, they all still have school because they can drive. But around here, and most people can't drive these roads. It comes in from away from here.
Yep.
Even in dry weather.
Do you have any siblings?
I'm an orphan. No. Got 4. Got 1 brother and 3 sisters.
What was it like growing up with them?
Rough.
Yeah, I've heard some stories. I hear it was something else.
What?
I don't know. Mom just complains about you all always being mean to her.
She's lazy. If we got her out of the house, we had to drag her. She gonna see this, ain't she?
Oh yeah.
We'd have to drag her. She was scared of everything. She was a wimp, more or less.
I heard there was a story about you having to drag her up a hill.
Down the hill.
Down the hill?
Down the hill. 1972. I believe it's 71. We'd got the house built on the hill. And Mama had to go to the hospital. And me and Sharon had to drag her. She's afraid to walk down the hill and hit dry. She's afraid of everything.
Good with it.
She tell me. I'll do anything.
You do anything?
Do anything. Smoke pot, drink beer.
So drug use was something that you've done before?
Pot.
Would you say drug use is a problem in this area?
Well, after they left the pot, yes. Pot don't hurt nobody. I don't do it no more, but it don't hurt nobody. They just mail her out and laugh. What's wrong with that?
What's the drug here now that you see most people?
Heroin and meth and fentanyl. That's what you hear most about. I don't see it. I'm not around nobody. Don't want to be. Not them acting like they do.
Yeah, with my line of work, I see a lot of drug use.
Well, can you imagine? You see one of them walking up and down the road. I see several here all the time. I mean, it's every day, occurrence.
Yeah.
Why would you want to look like that? I look bad enough. Why would you want to look like this Walking Dead,
Yeah. Would you say, this is something I I like to question myself on. Would you say being a drug addict in this area is different than being in a big city?
Well, about the only, except for the people away from here that comes in here, most of them got family that will help them. Away from here, I don't see family helping them.
So you'd say in this area, family is something really important to
Yes.
everybody?
Yeah,
What was your mom like?
good mom.
How old was she when she passed away?
80, I can't remember. You can tell me.
I think she was 83.
I'm thinking 84.
Yeah, 83 or 84.
November, she was born in November, I was thinking 80. Yeah, she done had her birthday, I think.
Yeah.
So she would have been 84.
You got any good stories on her?
Like what? I can tell you good that me and her, we like to throw rocks. Play and throwing rocks.
Yeah.
And I hit her, she had polio when she was little.
Yeah.
And I hit her on the ankle, and it was almost time for Daddy to come home from work. And she was crying, and before she could tell me, all she got out was I hit her with a rock. I paid for that. She's a good mommy.
Did you have any kids yourself?
Yes.
How many kids did you have?
3.
3? You still see them?
2 of them. One of them passed away.
What happened to her?
She wrecked in December 19th of 2003, and missed the bridge, turned over, and drowned it.
What would you say was your favorite thing about raising kids?
I love children. I hate adults, but I love children.
I can attest to that. You gave us a hard time growing up. It was fun.
Right. I was good to children. I just hate grown people.
That's when the problem started.
Yeah, after they get grown, they don't listen no more. They don't learn no more.
No. So, where do you live now? Do you still live in the same place where you grew up?
No. I live with Alan.
Is it much different living a couple miles down the road than where you lived when you grew up?
Oh yes, a lot different. Because where we grew up, everybody knowed everybody. Everybody was friends with everybody. Everybody played together. And only thing I see them play now is pass me that needle.
Man,
I ain't rich.
you've had more money.
Over in my lifetime, probably. If I get rid of all my junk, I'd probably have more now. But I like my junk.
There's something about it.
It's addictive, like drugs.
So
Cigarette.
you say that's your new addiction?
Yep. I'm a hoarder.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm entitling this video.
Yep.
I don't know, we got all
Some of your ancestors.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Which one you want to start with?
God, I don't know.
The mean ones or the good ones?
Let's hear the meanings.
Well, I'll start with you. Great-great-grandpa. He came into Kentucky out of Virginia. I don't know the years, but anyway, he was over here. Now it's gonna get bad. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay. Your great-great-grandma, he married her. All right, on one side. Anyway, she died at 35 years old. Mm-hmm. All right, which that leaves it. My grandpa, he was the oldest of the children, and they had 2 more. My grandpa raised them 2 for a while, because my great-grandpa had to leave and go back to Virginia, because he got shot by revenuers. They come after him. Got shot right above the heart. And the tale is that he killed one of the revenuers. And this was just last Sunday, or Monday, Memorial Day, that I kind of confirmed that with the only great uncle that's left. And he told what he knowed of it too. And he went back over there and raised another family. Well, his wife over there went to the pen for killing a man because they was fighting in the yard, him, their great-grandpa, and another man. So she went to the pen and stayed 18 months. One of them had to stay and raise the children. So she just walked in there and shot him right in the head, I reckon. So either way, he dead.
Yeah.
But she went to the pen because she had nowhere to run to.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't been for that, she'd probably been over here hiding. So,
Jeez. Is violence a... Hold on. Would you say violence is something big in this area?
not now.
Not now?
Not like it was then. See, he was a moonshiner.
Oh, okay.
All right. And his oldest son, he done a lot of moonshine. But he was also a scholar.
What kind of scholar?
School teacher.
Oh, really? And he was a moonshiner?
Yeah. But he didn't like teaching little mean children.
Yeah.
So he'd have beat me to death.
During that time.
But he also got arrested in the time that they was looking for William Mullen, his daddy, for shooting the revenue. So they arrested him trying to get to his daddy, William. And he wouldn't ever tell because they wasn't raised that way.
Yeah.
So they made him promise that he never would sell no more moonshine. So he didn't. He made it still yet. They didn't make him promise not to do that.
Right.
They just made him promise not to sell it. So then he went to doing the timekeeper and stuff like that to mine because he was educated.
What did our family do for? Or no, hold on. What did your dad do for work?
He is a body man, truck driver, mechanic.
You think that's where you got most of yours from?
I know it was. Because from the time I was big enough to walk, I was right there with him. I was driving at 6 years old.
Yeah, driving here is a little different. If you could drive here at 6 years old, you can drive anywhere at 6 years old. Yeah.
Not legally, but I was driving.
Yeah.
We've been stopped a long time by state troopers and deputies, but they was our neighbors. They just tell me to go home.
Yep.
When they caught me on a motorcycle though, they made me buy a helmet and a headlight.
Made you get the headlight?
Yeah, and the helmet.
Jeez.
Or they was gonna take my motorcycle.
Oh, you had no other choice.
Right. I think I know what you're saying. From the time of getting out doing things till, well, from, I'd say we was running around the holler at 4 years old because it was safe.
Yeah.
All right, we'd go out and do whatever we wanted to. And kept doing that till 1968. That's when we moved to Michigan. Your mommy was a year old. We went to Michigan. I may be off a little bit on that time, but we went to Michigan, stayed a year, you know, give or take a little bit, and come back, then went back, and then when we come back in 69 or 70, we stayed. Me and Ronnie went back up there and we worked a few summers up there.
So that's what else I was going to ask you. In this area, I'd like to say that pretty much all in Michigan and Ohio Appalachia because everybody left and went up there?
Well, about everybody from Mud Creek to Sayersville to Louisiana headed north because there wasn't no work.
Yep.
So they had to work somewhere, and that's something. A lot of them didn't come back. They stayed, and they're still there.
Would you say that's a reason why our population here is so much smaller, because everybody left after the mines closed down?
We know what birth control is, too.
That is true. I'm gonna. So, what was your mom and the flower shop?
This was around 64, 65. We was out playing, and Mom had never seen. When did Woodstock take place?
Do what?
When did Woodstock take place?
Woodstock, 62.
All right.
No, it might have been 64.
He was in that area.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was big enough to remember. Ronnie was too. And we was out playing. And Mommy seen this fella coming up the holler. He had beads on, big old robe-like thing, and long hair, beard. And they all called him Jesus freaks. But he had all that flared on and all that. And here she comes. Lord, children, get in here, get in here. She grabbed us and run us in the house, afraid of him. And then after we found out who he was, one of our cousin's wife, family, who he was. And he was just a hippie. That's the first hippies we ever saw.
So you're scared of them?
Oh, I wasn't.
But she was?
Yeah, Mommy was, but Ronnie wasn't.
The Summer of Love, that was like the big time for hippies. They were even venturing out here into eastern Kentucky?
Yeah, you'd see one once in a while.
Once in a while? You think they were hitchhiking?
They had to hitchhike here because they was always walking. So.
You know what the Summer of Love is, right?
Yeah.
What would you say, well, your mom, she had kids in that time. What would you say her Summer of Love was like compared to someone who was out in San Francisco partying it up?
Well, they didn't party around here. There was no such thing. And Daddy, he got drunk one time in his life. And he couldn't see why anybody wanted to drink something that make you feel so bad. So, and I never will forget this. Daddy come home with a hog, he'd been playing poker. And Mama got on to him, said, just think, you won that hog in a poker game, and now some little children's gonna go hungry because you got their money in their hog. And he quit playing poker over that.
Wow.
He had a heart, but he was strict too.
So what happened to your dad?
Leukemia. He got it when he was 43, I think. And died when he was 55.
Is he, did you ever serve in the military or anything?
No, they wouldn't take me. I was too crazy.
Did your dad serve in Vietnam?
No, so
Since our parents, well, your parents growing up weren't big on drugs and things, what do you think brought them into this area? Think it was the boredom?
yes, because there was really nothing to do around here. There occasionally a pool hall, poker game. You could go to a basketball game, but
Is sports big here
now it is.
now? When you were growing up, was it as big as it is now?
No, you just had, well, like up Left Beaver there, they had, which was Inland Steel Coal Company, they had a baseball team, and there were several other mine outfits had baseball teams. They'd play baseball, which they would pay them people for like they was working, just to play baseball.
So we had minor league teams here, like kinda.
Yeah, it's kind of like a minor league. And we had one neighbor up there, Carlos Dawson. He left here and played for the Cincinnati Reds, but quit. I think he was getting like $75 a week to play for the Reds. Well, he come back here and went to work on drilling rig because he was making almost 150. Couldn't feed his family on the 75, so he doubled his money, but just come back here working on a gas drilling rig.
Fair enough. What would you say this area has changed the most in recent times? What has changed the most?
Dope. Dope mostly.
That's a common theme.
Yep. Yeah, it's bad. And we're so confined here too, and it makes it look worse on us because we are confined.
Yep.
We're not spread it out like some places in Ohio or Tennessee where you got a lot of space between houses. Up in this area, y'all know everybody because y'all neighbors.
You gotta know them.
Right.
Why do they call it a holler? You know why they call it a holler?
No.
It was because back in the old days, before we had phones ran up in them.
Holler at them?
Yep, you'd holler at them. That's why they're called hollers.
Well, they'd have been lost with me because I can't holler. So.
Oh, man.
I know why they call steel holler though, because that was fresh water they run their steels off of.
Really?
Yeah.
We're still holler at.
Up in Brown Branch.
Oh, I didn't know that.